Cool. Well, I guess we are slowly gonna get started. There might still be people popping in, joining in later. I have envisioned this workshop to be between 30 to 45 minutes, also to be mindful of all of our times. And yeah, as I just mentioned, I want to make this a little bit interactive. I don't just want to talk to you and give you my opinions and my knowledge and everything. I really want to engage you and see what's coming forward from for you, right? The video is going to be recorded. So if you do not wish to be on camera or speak on camera, you're more than welcome to get off. And oh, we got Daniel also joining. Perfect. Nice. Welcome, Daniel. And otherwise, you can just interact in the chat box when I ask questions. I might ask one or two of you to join if to join on camera to share if you are okay with that. And otherwise, yeah, just the chat box or your personal notebooks is good. But I really would love to see you in the chat box to get those engagements. So Danielle, you just came like 1 minute too late. I just mentioned that. All good. I just mentioned that I want to make this an interactive session, but you already know my style a little bit anyway. I know that you're going to be engaged, so I'm not worried there at all. So yeah, welcome you guys to the Rewrite the Rules of Success workshop with me today. One more time, it's going to be between 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much we get to actually engage with one another. I really just also want to speak to the fact that you showed up today for yourself to learn about success, to also learn how to, yeah, even rewriting the rules of success. Maybe that's been something that has never crossed your mind before, that's even a thing, that's even a thing that we get to do, to choose our own definition of certain concepts and words that are thrown around so easily around us, that are being programmed into us in a certain way, giving us certain ideas about what it means. And so, yeah, I really want to celebrate you for taking that time. And my first question to you is really just very blunt. What comes to mind for you by default when you think of the word being successful or like success? And please write it in the chat. And I'm not looking for the right, more spiritual answers. I really want you to be honest and share the words that come to you when you hear the word success. Maybe pictures are popping up for you. What is it that you by default have in your mind when you think of success? So just take a few moments, either just check in with yourself thinking, and feel free to write it in the chat. I'm going to read it out in a moment. I'll just let everybody to share. Awesome. So Danielle says, being fulfilled internally. Alenka says, I know many people think that success is financial or money related, but to me, it means many things. Anything that you feel that you achieved, that you wanted: love, travels, inner fulfillment, family, kids, etc. And Amy says, a full life without burnout. Living the best life we can and enjoy the journey. Awesome. I love all of these answers. And I see that I already have a room with people who already put some thinking to what it actually means to live a successful and fulfilled life, right? Come says, living a life aligned with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Exactly. Now, I also love what Lenka just shared, right? And I think we can all relate to that for most for most of society, when we think of success, we're thinking of a lot of financial resources, nice cars, money related, career titles, higher positions, maybe fame, maybe, yeah, being known in either in the community or in the bigger world. So that may leave us sometimes to feel, yeah, to feel unsuccessful if we're not having all that money, all that status, all that fame. Now, I just want to make sure that we are in the same room, and so that you can also make the decision whether you want to stay in and continue rewriting the rules of success for yourself, or if you feel that you would rather go and have lunch for yourself. So just asking into the room, um, who here has ever achieved something big that their environment celebrated them for, but that didn't really feel like made them feel good? Who in here has ever achieved something big that their environment wanted them to achieve, that their environment celebrated them for, was proud of, but internally it didn't really feel good? So write in the chat, me, if that is you. Nice. All right. Me, sometimes position in society, but I felt fake. So yeah, that's great. Then question number 2, who in here has ever set a goal for themselves because they thought it would make them feel more confident eventually, that once they achieve that? Who has ever set a goal for themselves that they thought they would feel better afterwards if they would achieve that? Kome, Lenka, Daniel, yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Education. All right. Now, question number 3, who in here has ever completely ignored what their heart and soul really wanted because their parents, partners, society, etc., thought it would be the best for them? Anyone? Danielle, yes. Who has ever completely ignored their heart and soul desires in order to please somebody else's ideas of success for you? Yeah. And I think that is something that that most of us can relate to, right? And if you have at least answered me once to any of these questions, then I think it's helpful for us to stay in here. And if you feel that actually I feel quite confident already with my success stories, then again, you're more than welcome to also make your own success decisions and yeah, stay or leave on your own accord. So I just would love to share with you real quick a little bit about me, about what my experience with success is, and give you a few more questions down the road to really, and an exercise to really get deeper into how to rewrite it, what to make, what success can really mean to you as well. So my name is Fabienne, for those of you who don't already know me. I'm a transformational heart and mindset coach, helping especially women, but also men, to change the way that they are experiencing life. So in my work with people, I work from the inside out. I help people redefine who they are and how they see things so that they can really experience things in a new and more enriching way. I have definitely had many successes over the years, which I never really considered successes. Um, but I have, yeah, I've been a manager and team leader in retails for over 2 decades already now. I've owned my own yoga studio. I have created my coaching business. I've written my own signature course. I've taught a lot of yoga classes, acro yoga, taught Thai massage. I've had a lot of people gaining a lot of, how to say, transformational experiences even before I was intending to make them, just by the way that I interact with them, by the way that I speak, and that I help them understand the world through different lenses. There has been many, many years where I didn't feel successful. And I am still struggling up to this point to really clear out all of these societal programmed beliefs. For me, financial resources, titles, fame are definitely very, very deeply ingrained in my understanding of success. So it is really a conscious and reoccurring effort for me to continuously remind myself that my chosen experience or definition of success is not only that. That is also part of it, but it's not the only one. What I see for myself as a successful life is a life that feels exciting, a life that feels diverse, a life that's filled with love and support from people around, but also from within. It's a life where I can really be my best friend and partner in crime, whatever I do. It's a life that moves me forward in each moment again and again and again. And that is really what I would hope for more and more people also to understand, that it's not about the goal, the reaching of certain goals and successes, but the actual journey of how to get there. And it's actually quite cool if you, I forgot to say that before. So the word to succeed in etymology really means to move towards, to go near to, or follow after. And if we look at succeeding in these terms, to be moving towards, to be following after, to be going near to, then all of a sudden, whatever you do to move in a certain direction that you choose consciously is already you succeeding in life. You are succeeding your way forward, right? Now, what sometimes happens when we set goals, and again, we're succeeding forward, we have this idea that we have to get there in order to feel a certain way. Now, the second magic comes in by us really just learning how to feel that success in every step that we're doing, in everything that we do. And yeah, so really my goal for today with you guys is to tap into what success really means to you, even deeper than you already have, as I can recognize in the answers that you've given me so far. And then I will also take a few moments to really rethink what success means again, and to hopefully also share with you at the end a little bit more about how we could potentially go deeper together, if that is okay. All right. So let's get started. Here's another question for you guys. And I've been reading my notes because I could not keep all of them in my mind, right? So I would love for you to take a minute or two to think about and to answer in the chat the following questions. If success, actually take a moment and close your eyes. And I want you to rub your hands for a second or two. Create a little bit of friction, create a little bit of heat. Move them faster and then slower, slower as you start closing your eyes, relaxing your shoulders. Feel the texture between your palms as you get slower and slower until you reach stillness with your palms touching in whatever way, shape, or form they want to. And take a moment to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, relaxing the shoulders. Do that 2 more times. Deep in through the nose, out through the mouth. And keep your eyes closed as I'm going to send the questions to you. You can keep the palms together connected if that feels good, or put them on your laps. And the first question that I would love for you to think about is, if success didn't involve titles, money, or achievements, what would it look and feel like for you? And I invite you to just tap into your imagination. For some of us, that will be visual. For some of us, there won't be any visuals, but it will be feelings, sensations in the body. So just tap into what it means to you to live a successful life that is not determined by titles, money, and achievements. What is the experience? How would it feel? How would it potentially look like? And if you feel that you have something and you would like to share, you can type it in the chat. Or if you feel okay coming on camera, you're also more than welcome to share it verbally. You can hold up your hand, your virtual hand, if you would like to come on, or just type it in the chat. And I'll have 2 more questions for you after that. So try to stay in that centered connectedness with that space. Amy says, a loving life, excited to live with no boundaries. Danielle, you would like to share? Go
First
ahead.
of all, great question, Fabienne. For me, it's about loving, caring, giving to others, helping others, helping this planet being a better place, helping people to transform if they can, and fully enjoying the present moment. Just really every moment of that, and being grateful, for what we are and everything around us.
Love it. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I really love that, like, enjoying of every moment, right? That ability to learn to see the good in every moment. And I love to rewrite a lot of things and redefine a lot of things. And so one of the things that I've redefined for myself as well was the present moment. It's not even a redefinition because it's in the word itself, that every moment is a present. Every moment of now is a present in itself. And sometimes we just think of presents to be something nice and something shiny or something good and loving and something that just feels cozy and warm. But in fact, if we start seeing also the things that are a little bit icky and where there's a little bit of friction happening or where we feel resistance, those are oftentimes even the bigger gifts to to our life. I would also love sharing what Lenka said. So she said, for me, it feels like right now or more, that would be more financial growth and more movement and travel and freedom. Back to the tropics and more romance. Yes. Romance I have, but more like deeper love experience with an aligned partner. Which is also, right, there's like romance and there's romance. There's romance with kindred spirits, with somebody who really truly feels deeply aligned. And then there's romance that just feels nice in the moment. It's fluffy, but it's maybe not so deep. Danielle, you'd like to share again?
Yeah, I would like to share. I watched this beautiful little reel. It was like a cartoon or animated. And this was what it said. It said, the past, again, with the past, we cannot come back, to it, or we can just learn from it. But the saying is, the past is history. The future is mystery. And now it's the present. And do you know why it's called present? Because present is a gift.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. That's exactly what I'm talking to. Yeah. All right. So be mindful of time. Time passes. Close your eyes one more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. And think of at least 3 big things in your life that you have achieved and feel proud of. And big is a word that might have different meanings to different people, but just think of 3 things that you have achieved and might never actually have felt like this is something I get to be proud of. And can you really tap into that feeling of being proud of achieving that? It doesn't have to be big, big. It can be big in the small as well. And if the first thing that comes to your mind is just that you started walking when you were, I don't know, 1.5 years old, that's a huge achievement, right? So what other 2 things can you think of? And then again, when you're ready, just feel free to type in the chat or write it down for yourself. Creating a family, growing my mind, and owning my own business. Wow. Feel into that and own that. Feel that pride. Pride has also a little bit of a strange connotation to it, right? When we think of it as a word. Travel, my son, growing a little human, education, yes. Okay. And then tap in again, close your eyes for the last question. What are some other things, maybe even smaller, that you actually could feel proud of as well? Things that you feel it's not worth being proud of, or it's just too mundane. What are some smaller things that you get to be proud of as well? And can you really feel for a moment into this pride? Nice friendships. Whenever you have some things, feel free again to use the chat. Being kind, being in a listening mode with other people, being fully present, playful, joyful, and uplifting. You definitely are. Thank you. All right. Now, I feel, and I'm so proud of you guys already. Like, I feel that you have such a deep understanding already of what it actually means to live a successful life. You're able to find things that you are proud of, that you can see even smaller things that you achieved and that you get to be grateful for. There's another comment coming in, being able to keep an open mind. Exactly. It's like there's so many little things that we get to be appreciative of as well. So now my question is, what do you think is holding us or some people back from, yeah, from actually feeling confident, feeling that sense of success in their lives? What could be some, yeah, or what are some downfalls for you that you've experienced, reasons why you at times might not be able to feel successful and confident? The voice in my head. Being concerned by what others think. Yes, I definitely relate to that, especially the voice in your head. Um, what are some examples for you guys? You say like concerned by what others think. What are you afraid of what they might think? What's the voice in your head saying? What are some of these thoughts, some of these words that come to you when you are in a moment of not feeling successful? Fear of making mistakes, keeping an ego, fear of judgment, criticism. You're never good enough, no matter how much you achieve. Thoughts in your head. And then what are some strategies that you guys use when you have these moments? Um, what do you do when you have a moment of like overwhelm and the head is just going in overdrive in all the negative directions and the self-blame and self-shame and yeah, all these words of like I'm never going to be good enough. What am I even doing? What was I thinking to even believe that I could achieve this, that I could succeed in this, etc. What do you do in these moments? What do you do when you feel that the world is out to judge you? And if you don't have any practices, please feel free to also drop them in the chat. I strive to remember and replay the positive moments and remember that I am good enough, that I matter. Yeah. Lenka says, I do positive affirmations to get out of negativity. How does that and practice gratitude? Yes, yes. Has using positive affirmations always worked for you, Lenka?
Well, I mostly use it on my clients and that works for them. And then I remember to use them for myself. But actually, since Daniel, you said gratitude, yeah, that's the actually even a better one that works. I just pick up like anywhere, anything I'm like grateful for in the moment, and I just become grateful for that. So I actually that's even a better one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about positive affirmations. It's great, but it has also its downsides for, especially if we're trying to counter a negative a very strong negative belief or a very strong negative experience in our body, positive affirmation is not necessarily going to fix that. Amy says, thank the voices and release them for trying to take care of me. Amy, do you want to speak to that real quick, or can you explain a little bit more? Maybe I think I just read it wrong. So yeah, positive affirmations on top of negative ones. Has somebody ever, Amy?
Yeah, whenever I have an inner critic or somebody that is something in my head that's talking to me, they're there for a reason, trying to protect me, and I just thank them and then I release them.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Tapping into the acceptance and actually listening to the voices because they have something to tell you, right? They're trying to support you and they're trying to keep you safe with what they think they know from the past. And oftentimes one of the downfalls of a lot of people, especially if we're not aware of it yet, is that we just believe the thoughts in our head because we were never really taught that we don't have to buy every answer that our servant brain is giving us. Because oftentimes we have these, as soon as we feel a little bit heavy or sluggish, there's an instant, or correct me if this is not your experience, but I feel for most of us it is. It's like, why am I feeling like this? And then we experience it as a negative emotion, a negative sensation. And so the why am I feeling like this is trying then or sending the brain to go and give me reasons why I'm feeling like shit right now. And then the brain just goes and catches the first few best things that it knows I'm going to buy for sure. It brings it, it delivers it. And then we often think that now this is just the answer. Oh, okay, yeah, it's because I don't have any friends. Oh, yeah, it's because I've been abused when I was little. Oh, yeah, it was because I was bullied or whatever. Or because I'm ugly, or because I'm just a failure in general in my life, right? So the brain comes with all these answers, and we just think, oh yeah, okay, I guess in that case, that's why I feel like this. Instead of just saying, huh, interesting. Thank you. But let me examine whether the opposite might be true as well, or whether this might actually not even be true. And just allowing the voices to be heard, but then not to just buy any reason, any answer that they're giving you right away. You get to start making conscious decisions of what you choose to believe. And your brain is a good servant, but not a great master. Some of you might have heard that term as well. All right, Danielle, I am way behind schedule. I just see it's already 40. Let's go. And
Yeah,
then
well, two things. First of all, yes, but it's going in two directions. Huh? So if we speak to ourselves positively, the brain is going to look for the validation. So just a remembering, and actually the second point is if we tell ourselves, which I think is the case perhaps for a lot of us, oh, I'm not good enough, etc. Try to think why, and actually remember what we've done in the past and prove that it's something which might stem from our childhood. And, somebody said something to us, but try to see where the emotion comes from. And afterwards, positively decide that, no, it's not the case. And I'm not going to accept it.
exactly. And that's what I mean with that curiosity, right? Like to see at it, to look at it from a different angle and not just buy into the negative bias, which most of us were programmed by and are still continuously programmed by, because it's just the way that we tell the story of life. There's always a little bit like this victimization and this persecution, and there's always something out to get us, unless we choose to start looking at it from a different lens. And I am excited to dive deeper into this topic as well. In the upcoming months, I will be doing more of these LinkedIn workshops. where we just go and explore different topics to really help you redefine, reshape, and hopefully find new understanding for for life and how to experience it in a more uplifting way, not necessarily uplifting per se, not only necessarily joyful and fabulous per se, but just starting to see even the joy and the good in the painful and harsh moments as well. To be able to accept them, just like Amy also mentioned with the voices, right? Those the voices, it's the same thing as if nasty situations start happening. We get to just acknowledge it, accept it, see what it's trying to tell us, and then use it to realign, redefine, and rewrite how we want to tell that story. And learning that we are the narrators of our life, and it might take some practice to learn how to tell the story in an uplifting and an empowering way. But it's like any other muscle. If we keep practicing it, at some point, it will just become a default. And you'll no longer really see shitty moments or people being nasty to you. You just see moments and people doing what they're doing. You're doing what you're doing. Your thoughts doing what they're doing. And all of it doesn't really have to mean anything unless you choose to make it mean something. So, Danielle, I give you one more time the mic real quick, and then I would love to start wrapping it up to be mindful of the time of everyone.
Yeah, I'd just like to share something I heard very recently is, well, we know that the 7 first years of our life are very important because we take, as children, everything in. What I didn't know is that actually, as children, we are in a so-called theta state. See, this was new. And when we are in this state, basically everything which people do, parents, family, etc., it's being directly imprinted in our brain. So I didn't know this explanation. So this is why afterwards it's kind of stops, but this is when really we are shaped and we take everything without filter. And then obviously by default, we repeat the patterns all over our lives.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And actually, thank you for sharing that because yes, as children, we are naturally in that theta phase or theta state, the brain waves that are really just very, very susceptible. And we need that at that age to really learn fast, to really learn to grow and to cope in society. Now, though, you said that after that it stops. That is not true. We can regenerate that those theta brain waves again. And that's actually what I do with my clients in my signature program as well. We do regular daily visualizations and brain resets to lower the brain waves and to start making these positive suggestions or these change of suggestions so that we prime our brain in our everyday life to start seeing things differently. And so through neuroplasticity, we get to really change the way that we look at things again. And depending on how strong that programming was at the time and how your brain is able now to actually rewrite it, it might take longer or less to really rewrite it. But I can affirm you that if you do these practices and you keep tapping into and you start living life through these lenses, it will change the default of how you experience life eventually. And that is really my hopes and my wish for not only the people directly that I work with, but also for the kids and like the next generation coming up to learn that they get to choose how they want to tell their own story. And they don't have to listen to what other people tell about them and what other people think for them to feel like success as well. So yeah, I think for me, it's really about that curiosity, about not believing everything everybody says, and just start looking at things from new angles, new perspectives. And Kome just also put in the chat here how you can connect with me in case you would like to dive deeper. I'm more than happy to offer you all on this call a free clarity call with me so that we can go a little bit deeper into looking at what that means for you and how you could actually use that for your own life. So yeah. Do you guys have any more questions or anything that you would like to release, or something that really stood out for you, something that was helpful for you today?
Yeah, well, I will quickly share. Thank you very much, Fabienne, for putting this workshop together. It was really very insightful, and thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up, for being here, participating, and yeah, to make that conscious effort to start changing things for yourself and the people in your closest surrounding and everybody that you work with eventually, as well, as I know